Today, we're going to be ranking every ride at Epic Universe from worst to best and on a tier list. Oh, yeah. We're back, baby. We're back. It's been a minute. It's been a little bit, but I've returned. I wouldn't leave without good reason. And I had a great reason. It's my 21st birthday. Drop some happy birthdays in the comments, guys. I'm 21. 21. Did a little trip with some buddies. Went to Orlando, Epic fucking Universe, and it was unfucking real. It is probably the best theme park I've ever seen in my life.
No, we're glazing tonight.
We are?
We're glazing tonight. What's up? Say something.
I simply must rank every ride there is. I went on everything. Alrighty. So let's get over to that tier list, shall we? I will be doing this in order that I rode the rides, okay? So you can use this video as a rope drop strategy or a layout for how to get the best out of your buck, because I rode everything, multiple things, more than once. So I feel pretty versed on this topic, even though I've only been to the park one time. I hope that I get to go another time, but so to begin with, I rope dropped. I didn't have early admission. We started. We couldn't go to Nintendo World first. Not the strat. Couldn't go to Harry Potter. Not the strat. Those get flooded immediately. So decided to go to Isle of Burke and ride Hiccup's Wing Gliders. I'm just going to put it right up in the S tier, guys. Simply put, it was one of my favorite rides at the park. An absolute sleeper. I had no idea how good it is. It is a impressive coaster. For a family coaster, really not that bad. Really like a pretty serious ride. Like, I got some decent thrill out of it. The animatronics, specifically Toothless, is fucking phenomenal. The score on the ride, oh my god, it makes that shit, man. The fact that we get to hear test drive while pretending like we're flying, the whole ride itself, I have some pretty high praise for it. Wasn't expecting a second launch, and I also wasn't expecting for there to be like show scenes and like speaking, but it was absolutely delightful. Getting to see the whole land from up high and going through different areas was pretty sick. You got a pretty good view of Stardust Racers as well. Yes, and we got to ride this twice. Towards the end of the day, we caught the show, the Untrainable Dragon, which gotta say was also sick. Highly recommend, especially because I don't even like theme park shows like that. But being able, I don't want to spoil it. If you don't want to spoil it for the show, you're gonna go to the park, skip this. But the show has Hiccup and Toothless fly over the crowd. And I'm not even just talking like just the front row. I'm talking about the entire audience. We were in the back and he was still over us. Then after the ride, or after the show, immediately hopped back on this ride for a second time in the rain. And it only rained for while we were on the ride. But it was pretty fucking sick, and I think it was easily one of my favorites. Honestly, of the whole trip. Had no expectations, and it exceeded them highly. Next up, we have got Dragon Racers Rally. This was not great. It could have been better, but it suffers from two very big issues, which are the ride time is very short, and the flipping, which I'll explain in a sec, so hard to do. Second ride we went on, tried to get some flipping action going because it's a regular flying ride, just like the Shell Shock one in Nickelodeon World or whatever. But for some reason on this ride, it is so hard. It is a really, like, you gotta immediately start going, and then even once you get it, ride's pretty much over. Probably like 30 to 45 seconds in the air. And because of that, gotta say it's C. Also, I want to mention that the line can also get crazy for this. It wasn't when we did because we rope dropped it, but the line can get absurd. Given the fact that it has such a low capacity, I've seen waits of 45 plus for this ride. It is not even worth, I would even say 15. I would say it's generally a skip. Next was Fyre Drill. Pretty boring ride. Pretty awful. I wouldn't ride this unless you're trying to cool down, but the ride time can also be pretty long, the waits. Every ride in this park can be a long wait, including 45 for this one as well. I'll mention that right now, actually. We went on Labor Day, specifically Labor Day itself, not Labor Day weekend, Monday, Labor Day, with the lines long for the majority of the rides. No, they were short as fuck. The only line we had to wait in, for real, was probably like 45 minutes for the Harry Potter Battle of the Ministry. Minecart Madness, we had to wait a long time for, probably like 70 minutes, but it would have been 45 or less. But it thunderstormed, so we had to just wait it out. Anyway, Fyre Drill, wouldn't recommend. One of the worst rides there. Maybe the worst. Yeah, actually, I will say it's the worst because next up is Constellation Carousel, which is also gonna go in the F tier, but not quite surprised. I wouldn't say it's surprising. If you're surprised by this, I don't know. That's crazy. It's a carousel. It is a pretty cool carousel, and I'm pretty sure at night, I didn't get to see it at night, but it seems pretty crazy from videos. Can't go that high. By the way, F tier doesn't mean that it's a F tier ride in general. It's just F tier for what it is in the park compared to everything else. Next, we went to Nintendo World. And first up, we rode Mariokart Bowser's Challenge. This ride is highly anticipated for, I think, all of us there. Nintendo World itself was fucking breathtaking. Like, absolutely gobsmacking gorgeous. Like, entering in and seeing Princess Peach's, like, castle and then everything else actually may have been one of the best moments of the day. Jaw was on the floor, to put it simply. The line itself, fucking magnificent. Fucking crazy. I loved all the Easter eggs and references to not just Mario Kart, but all like Mario property in general. Anyway, the ride itself, Mario Kart, I was thoroughly impressed by the sets and the design. It was so fucking sick. I didn't expect them to go all out, especially when I saw that we put face shit on and there was AR elements. Thought there was going to be barely any sets. I thought we were going to be looking at screens majority of the time, but the sets were easily the best part. It wasn't very thrilling, but it was a very good ride, except for the shooter element of it. Personally, I don't really like shooter rides very often. I hate Buzz Lightyear in Disney. I hate Toy Story Mania in Disney. I can stand Men in Black here because there's some fun elements, but all the shooting was only in your glasses, and it was kind of cool, but I don't think the AR looked that good. It was more distracting than it was like immersive. AR didn't look great. Yeah, you just shoot shells at other racers. It kind of took away from looking at the sets. It didn't look like the other racers, the Mario Kart characters were like on the same course with you. It just looked like they were kind of flying next to you. And honestly, I think I would have liked it more if I didn't play the game. If I just experienced the sets, I think I would have enjoyed it. The only exception is the Rainbow Road section was genuinely one of the best things I've seen in a ride in a long time. I don't know how they made it look so good. One of the only points where I actually felt like the drivers weren't near me. It is not one of my favorite rides. I actually am going to put it in B, which I know that may shock some people, but I think next time I go on it, I'm not going to put on the glasses, or at least I'm not going to pay attention to the shooting. I'm just going to look around at the sets. I just wanted to enjoy it. It wasn't very thrilling, but it was just a good ride. It was a diminishing return to have the shooter element, in my opinion. Next up, we did Stardust Racers, and I'm not even going to leave y'all waiting. It's the best ride so far. Like I said, the best ride in the park yet. We'll see if it actually ends up being that. One of the best coasters I've ever been on in my entire life. I did not think... hold on. I gotta turn it to the other view just so you can tell how fucking serious I am. I did not think there was gonna be another roller coaster in my lifetime that was gonna rival Velocicoaster, especially not at Universal. They fucking did it. This is the ride. This dethroned Velocicoaster. I couldn't believe my fucking eyes. There were multiple moments where I was fucking flabbergasted. And the fact that we rode 3 times in a row immediately because there was no wait. Labor Day waits were non-existent, bro. Seriously, if you can go next year or go to any Universal, go on Labor Day. It is the move. We got to just ride this back to back to back. It was fucking real. And the 2 tracks made it so much more re-rideable as well. Re-rideability scale, this is a 10, easy. As a ride scale, it's also a 10. It is a perfect ride. So we rode it 3 times initially, and then we went back later, did it at night, and we rode it another 4 times. So we rode Stardust Racers 7 times, and I was not tired of it. We just went back and forth, and we kept having trouble deciding which track was better. They are both, honestly, I'd say equally good. So fucking believe the hype. Next up, we went to Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry. This ride is the one I knew the least about, and I went in completely blind for the most part. And I gotta say, this is one of the most impressive rides I've ever been on. But it is not my favorite. It's great for what it is. I am still a Harry Potter fan. Yes, I am. I'm a Slytherin, I believe, still. Maybe a Ravenclaw. I've gotten both. But the queue was the best in the park and maybe the best I've ever seen in my life. Only rivaled really by Gringotts. They know how to do Harry Potter queues. It can't go above a coaster because it's just not very thrilling. It's not very crazy. The technology itself is more impressive than anything I've ever seen. The screens blend seamlessly with everything going on. The sets are pretty amazing, and the animatronics are fucking crazy. The only thing that I didn't like about some of them, and not even all of them, were the projection faces. There are some projected faces, just like the Frozen ride at Disney, and it just doesn't work, especially not for real people's faces. The Disney ones work better because they're cartoon faces, but this was like Harry had a projected face. Ride vehicle was pretty impressive. I wish that it had more of a dropping feeling, especially getting into a ride like that. They wanted to do the Rise of the Resistance for Universal, but like it didn't have that thrilling element. Like Rise of Resistance has a drop tower moment, and this is something you would think. It's literally shaped like a drop tower, and there's no drop tower moment. There's specifically 2 or 3 animatronics that looked like I thought they were actors. They look so good. So that, with that being said, it's gonna have to go A tier. Behind Wing Gliders, which is crazy. I would not have expected this, but I must stay true to myself, in my opinions. Which brings us to the next area, Dark Universe. To begin with, we've got on Curse of the Werewolf, which was overall disappointing. I didn't have the highest hopes for. Knew it was a smaller coaster, but I still was excited about the spinning element, and it seems that really depends on what order you are in the seating or weight distribution. But unfortunately, my vehicle did not spin very much. I liked the back and forth launch. The Werewolf looked pretty sick, but it wasn't anything special. I checked the wait time today, random Wednesday, 2 days after I was there. 90 minutes for this ride. Never ride this for over 30 minutes. It is not worth it. Just skip it. But it is still fun. It didn't have like a clear flaw, because at least you would get a little bit of spin time no matter what, I'd say. And you'll get a little thrill. Sometimes you're going backwards, but it's going to have to go B. It's behind Mario Kart for sure, but above Dragon Racers Rally. Now, Monsters Unchained. I had high hopes for this one, and they were extremely met. I was very impressed with this ride. I think the animatronics were like nothing I've ever seen in my life. There are multiple moments that like actually did get a jump out of me. And the screens, while they got a little bit heavier towards the end, it still looked pretty fucking good. Not quite as good as Harry Potter, but a clear second. Better than anything in any of the other Universal parks. I honestly wish it was just a little bit scarier. A lot of people said that the ending's a little abrupt, but I thought it was fine. I thought the ride was lengthy as I wanted it to be. I thought it felt pretty full. And to give you another perspective of how low the weights were, we got on this ride pretty immediately. And when we got off, or we were let our harnesses up, they were like, if you want to ride again, just stay seated. All in all, like, it is a must ride. Like, even if you're not the fan of the IP, I'm not really. There are multiple moments that are just, you gotta see. You gotta see for yourself. This is gonna have to go in the S tier. I think it's still behind Hiccups. No, honestly, I could be convinced otherwise. Hiccups was clearly a little bit more fun because I like coasters. And the animatronics are cool. Actually, I'll leave it as is. If I change my mind, we'll decide on that. But finally, we circled back to Nintendo Land and hit up these last two. And Yoshi's Adventure is a lot of animatronics. Some look better than others. Captain Toad looks really funny. But the Yoshi scene, the indoor scene, looks amazing. The music is pretty good. And the little interactive element with the eggs is fun. But it's a people mover ride. That's it. Can be pretty hot. Also, some of the animatronics weren't even moving when I was there, which I noticed. I would not ride it. Honestly, I don't think I would have ridden it that day if it wasn't a 5-minute wait. I think this ride could have been a little bit longer, a little bit better, showcase the land a little bit more because it only really stayed in the corner. And I think they should have taken advantage of having a Donkey Kong Country area and expand the track to go look over there. There doesn't need to be as many animatronics if they don't want to. Just have a little part where you go out, circle, get a little nice view of the area, and go back into the show scene. That's what I would have done. But as a whole, I can't put it above Racers Rally because at least Racers Rally had a little bit of a thrill to it, even if it was short. This is for little kids. Little kids, I'm sure, will love it. But it's not great. It's exactly what you would expect. And finally, what easily gets the highest weight and is probably my most anticipated ride is Minecart Madness. I saw a wait time the weekend that while we were there, the day before we went, it was, or maybe it was the same day. No, I don't think it was the same day. Day before, 240-minute wait. 4 fucking hours. 4 hours. I would not ride this. I don't think there's a single ride I would wait 4 hours for. Now, did this ride disappoint me? No. It could have been a little bit more thrilling. It had a unique element that I don't feel like worked super great because when you went over the jumps, it didn't really look like a jump. There were some pretty cool drops, intense drops, but I had to wait a really long time. Had to, not because of weather, not because of the line itself, but because of weather. The music was great. The animatronics, amazing. There's a DK at the end that is amazing. And a Diddy Kong that is like fucking fantastic. I think that's probably the highlight, is the music and the animatronics. There's 2 really good drops, and I'd say overall that's pretty much it. But I wouldn't say it's worth the longest wait. Diddy did escape the allegations. It's nice that Diddy was addressed.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so yeah, that's what's up.
Dixie Kong was in the ride as well. Sick. There's a Cranky Kong in the queue that is amazing. I think I may actually change my rating and put, because I'm clearly coaster biased. I clearly am. But to make these tiers a little bit more even, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Probably A. But I think I may put Monsters Unchained below it. Because these are ranked. These are ranked in order. It's definitely better than Battle at the Ministry. I'm just a big coaster person, but I can't just put all the coasters in S. It wasn't as good as Wing Gliders or Stardust Racers. The theming was sick. The idea is there. It just didn't live up to the expectations. It could have been done better. And it was a little bit like jerky. Like it did kind of throw you around. it kind of added to it. I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was like atrocious. I didn't feel hurt by it. Felt pretty much the same amount of like throwing you around as like the Mummy. Yeah, I think it would make a last second change. No, this was so much longer and a full experience. No, I gotta stay true to myself. I think Monsters Unchained is slightly better than Minecart Madness, but it is close. I think I am happy with my ranking. So to put it in order real quick, we got bottom. Number 11 is Fyre Drill. Number 10 is Constellation Carousel. Number 9 is Yoshi's Adventure. Number 8 is Dragon Racers Rally. Number 7 is Curse of the Werewolf. Number 6 is Mario Kart Madness. Not Minecart Madness. Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge. That's the subtitle. Harry Potter and Battle of the Ministry is number 5. Minecart Madness is number 4. Monsters Unchained in our top 3 is 3. And Hiccup's Wing Glider, the Cinderella story of the tier list, is 2nd. Stardust Racers being number 1. The only ride that I rode 7 times. Probably the only ride I've ever ridden 7 times in a day in my life. What you got to do. I would say B and above, I would try to ride. A and above, must rides. Prioritize them for sure. But yeah, as a whole, this is what I got. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for tapping in, tuning in, and I would visit Epic Universe as soon as you can. In my opinion, there is nothing like it. If you've been, please let me know what your favorite ride is. Please let me know what your experience was like. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, like, comment. Do all the shit. Stay epic.